Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And it wasn't a bad one out there today. You could probably feel the cooler temperatures, and we did notice some increasing clouds throughout the day. But all in all, it was pretty darn nice with temperatures in the mid-50s to around 60 degrees. But we do have some pretty big changes headed our way in the form of much colder weather and snow. Here's our winter storm summary. That's right, winter storm, and it's moving in tonight and especially on Thursday and into the weekend. It will begin in the higher elevations tonight and into Thursday. We won't see a lot of the white stuff here until probably late Saturday afternoon and especially on Sunday in the Wenatchee area. But I'll tell you what, some parts of Washington State could see heavy mountain snow, and that will affect travel over the next 3 or 4 days. We'll talk much more about that coming up later on in your weather forecast. And for those watching on our Facebook, tune in to Local Channel 12 or Charter Channel 19, or you can stream us live at ncwlife.com for the full evening newscast tonight. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A mobile home was damaged in an East Wenatchee fire this morning, and a dangerous dog is being sought in connection with an attack in the McKittrick Street neighborhood Sunday night. Later on, we'll have sports, your weather forecast, and our feature story today. But first, a large brush fire ignited late this morning just outside of Monitor. NCW Life's Jay Seebeck was there and has the story.
Jay Seebeck here out at the fire here in Monitor, out at the Hot Rod Cafe. I'm out in the parking lot. Crews are using this as a base point for then deploying them out onto the hill here. So far I've seen Chelan County PUD crews, Leavenworth fire crews, Chelan County fire crews, a lot of different members coming out here to battle this fire. We've got a helicopter going, you've got bulldozers making new fire lines along the hill. And so as you can see behind me, you can see the smoke line kind of on top of the ridge. That's the fire line that's slowly moving its way down the mountain, getting closer to all the residences and homes here. Hot Rod Cafe isn't in too much of a danger zone. There's a residence with an orchard behind it. Then that orchard should work as definitely a buffer if the fire makes it down that far. It won't be able to burn as fast. It's about 56 degrees here right now. It's really chilly. The wind is definitely the big factor in this, where it's blowing really hard and it's a cool wind, but it's definitely spreading that fire around. But luckily the helicopters are here. As you can hear them above me, they're coming through and they're dumping the water on the front line of the fire. And as I've been here for the last 30-40 minutes or so, it's really started to die down that fire, and it looks like they're starting to put it out. But it just kind of varies in different spots. So we'll stay tuned to see what happens next. Back to you, Grant.
Thanks, Jay. We also spoke with Chelan County Fire Public Information Officer Rick Isaacson about the size and complications associated with battling this particular fire.
We have a approximately 100-acre fire down here in the Monitor area at this little junction where Easy Street pours out onto Highway 2. The fire is to the north of us and running to the east. We have approximately 100 acres on fire, growing slowly, grass and a little bit of sage. We have level 1 evacuations. Most of those are the 15 houses here that border Easy Street, so they're really not in danger at this time. We'll see how the fire progresses and if other evacuations are ordered or not. It happened to be that when this came in, District 6, this is in their boundary, Kashmir Fire, we responded with one brush truck. Probably 5 minutes after that, we had a involved house fire over in East Wenatchee. That sent engine crews over there. That's where they're at. And then there was several medical calls as well. So we stretched them a little thin. That's why they went to third alarm. They went from first right away into second, and it didn't take them long to go to third alarm because they needed the resources. Chelan, Leavenworth, Aniat, Orondo, and those folks.
And as you could see in that last piece of video, the fire burned very close to one of our Sky-Fi tower cameras. And make sure you stay tuned to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley News tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock with Steve Hare for an update as to the cause of that rather large brush fire. Very odd for this time of year. A mobile home was damaged this morning in a fire on the east side. The fire was located off 27th Street near Columbia Street in the East Wenatchee area. Crews from Douglas County District 2 along with Chelan County District 1 responded. Additional details were not available as of this report. Wenatchee Valley Animal Control is putting the word out about a dangerous dog being sought in connection with an attack in the McKittrick Street neighborhood Sunday night. A news release issued late yesterday described the animal as a very tall, strong-looking dog with sleek gray fur. The dog attacked a woman's leash dog as they walked along the street and would not release it until another witness in a vehicle stopped to help and honked her horn to scare that dog away. It was last seen running toward Foothills Middle School, and if you have any possible information identifying this large gray dog, please contact Animal Care and Control. That phone number is 509-662-9577. Coming up, Chelan County PUD is considering a request by the Douglas County Port District to take over ownership of Orondo Park. And believe it or not, because of recent rain and snow, Christmas tree permits are now available. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Hi everyone, Brent Crowder here at Town Nissan. Come on down to Town Nissan and help us celebrate the best-selling SUV in America today, the 2017 Nissan Rogue, along with its big brother, the Nissan Murano, and the beautiful Maxima, and the all-new Nissan Titan, and the all-new Nissan Armada. Come down and see us and see why we are the fastest-growing car company in America today. Come down and see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Bay Equity Home Loans in Wenatchee, serving all of North Central Washington. We make it our priority to learn all about your financial needs. Whether you're buying your first home, refinancing, or want a reverse mortgage, our mortgage professionals are ready to guide you through the loan process. We have a wide variety of loan products to fit your family's needs. Call Bay Equity Home Loans of Wenatchee today for your pre-approval. 509-888-0466.
Welcome back. A career mentoring partnership between Wenatchee School District and Confluence Health will be highlighted during a congressional briefing in Washington, D.C. on Thursday. The briefing is hosted by Mentor, the National Mentoring Partnership. Dennis Conger, Career and Technical Education Director for Wenatchee School District, and Casey Voigt, Student Services Coordinator for Confluence Health, will testify at the briefing and will share insight on the nature of the employer-driven career-connected learning program. Conger and Voigt will cover how and why the public-private partnership between Confluence Health and Wenatchee School District began, as well as the challenges unique to creating mentorship opportunities in rural communities. The Confluence Health High School Mentor Program was tapped by Mentor to attend the hearing and serve as an example of an effective employer-driven program that aims to support and develop a talent pipeline through mentorship. High school students are included in that, and Mentor reports that 1 in 3 young people in the U.S. are growing up without a mentor to help them thrive and develop into engaged adults. Chelan County PUD is considering a request by the Douglas County Port District to take over ownership of Orondo Park. A public meeting is slated for later this month to discuss the matter, but the PUD is also asking its customer owners for their opinion. We spoke with PUD spokesperson Kimberly Craig about the park plans.
Chelan County PUD has received a request from the Port of Douglas County, which operates Arundel River Park, for the PUD to consider taking over full ownership and operation of that park. So as part of the considerations, we're seeking feedback from customer owners and park users on decisions the commissioners will be making about the future of Arundel River Park. Arundel River Park is on the Columbia River, just north of Arundel, and the request from the port has launched a look at alternatives for the park's future. Among the questions are whether the park should be focused on day use activities rather than camping, and we really want to know what the public thinks. So we have an online survey that folks can take. People who take the survey and give us their name and their contact information will be entered into a drawing for some neat picnic and camping gear. Chelan PUD has also scheduled a community meeting for November 14th to talk with residents and park users about the future of Arundel Park. That meeting will be at 6:30 p.m. in the Arundel School District office. And then once we have both the survey results and we hear from the folks up there, PUD staff will bring what they learn back to PUD commissioners for discussion at the December 4th board meeting. Folks with questions or who want to take that survey can find all the details at chelanpud.org under Arundel River Park.
Arundel Park was developed by the Port of Douglas County in 1972 as a day-use park. The port has operated the park under contract since 1979. In 1976, the park became a part of the Chelan PUD Exhibit R recreation site under the PUD's federal license, but the Port of Douglas maintained ownership and operation for the park. Christmas tree permits are now on sale. Recent storms have brought snow to the mountaintops, blanketing high elevation trees in white and turning these areas of the National Forest into winter wonderlands. Along with these seasonal changes comes the opportunity for families to purchase Christmas tree permits from the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. Permits go on sale for $5 each at all National Forest Ranger stations and the forest headquarters starting today, November 1st. You can get more information on our website at ncwlife.com. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
So, how you guys doing?
My job starts in Portland in a month.
Can we find a buyer that fast? I think we're good. Our CBX app tells us who the best potential buyers are. We can pinpoint where the hottest prospects are located, right on this map.
2 cities over.
It even lets us set the most accurate price. Wow, it really does all that. It really does all that.
Well, help us pack?
We're working on that.
Hi, I'm Lonnie Boucher, attorney and owner of EstateEdge.com. If you found yourself incapacitated, do you have a durable power of attorney for financial and healthcare needs? A durable power of attorney allows you to nominate a person, an agent, to act for you and make decisions if you are unable to do so yourself. EstateEdge.com is your online resource to obtain these and other estate planning documents. For your protection and peace of mind, go to EstateEdge.com today.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy hump day. Let's take a look at the Les Schwab Prep scoreboard from last night. First of all, in playoff soccer, Cashmere advanced to face either Deer Park or Lakeside this Saturday with a 3-2 win over Okanagan at home last night. The Southerly Bulldogs, if you will, got goals from Claire Norman, Justine Wood, and Grace Erdman in the victory. Deer Park and Lakeside face off tomorrow to determine Cashmere's match for Saturday, which will be on the road at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Also in the 2B District 5-6 tournaments yesterday, it was Brewster shutting out Mabton by a score of 7-0. Liberty Bell, meanwhile, down Tonasket, also getting 7 goals and a 7-3 win. On the Les Schwab Prep volleyball scoreboard last night, one to tell you about. Kashmir won a hard-fought first-round match in 3 sets to 1 over Okanagan in the District 6 1A tournament. After falling in the first set 17-25, Kashmir rebounded for a 26-24, 25-16, and 25-16 victory to advance to play the loser of tomorrow's title match between Cascade and Chelan. Coming up tonight on the prep soccer schedule, Wenatchee takes on West Valley for the Big 9 4A District Championship. That'll be at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl starting at 6 o'clock. We'll have it live here on the NCW Life channel with Sebastian Moraga and Matt Weisen on the call. Now, the two teams have faced each other twice so far this season, with the Panthers winning the first meeting in the Apple Bowl 1-0. But the Rams countered a week later with a win in Yakima 1-0. Meanwhile, Eastmont travels to Moses Lake for a loser-out game. That also starts at 6 o'clock. The Chiefs swept the season series between the two clubs 4-0 in the opening game of the season, and then 3-2 back on October 5th. We'll have scores and highlights tomorrow morning right here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. On the volleyball courts tonight, it's the District 6 CWB 1B tournament. Entiat hosting Riverside Christian, while Pateros is at Wilson Creek. Eastmont has a District 9 Big 9 play-in game tonight against Davis in East Wenatchee. The Wildcats ended the season as the number 3 seed in the Big 9 tournament with a 7-5 record, while Davis is number 6 seed with a 2-10 record. We'll have our cameras there tonight, so I'll be doing the play-by-play for a tape delay broadcast here on the NCW Live channel. That all starts at 6 o'clock. We'll have highlights tomorrow morning right here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Another big play-in games in the Big 9. Moses Lake's on the road at Eisenhower. Here's a reminder of our sports broadcast schedule this week. Again, tonight, it's Wenatchee and West Valley in soccer. That's at 6 o'clock. Tomorrow night, it's hockey night starting at 7. Then on Friday, it's the replay of the Bridge of Sportsmanship game between Wenatchee and Eastmont. That all starts at 7 o'clock. Well, the Wenatchee Wild have a Wednesday travel game tonight in Trail, BC to take on the Smoke Eaters. And with this fire here in the Wenatchee Valley today, kind of appropriate we'd be talking about eating smoke. Wenatchee's right behind Trail in the interior division of the BCHL at 11-6-1 with 23 points, while the Smoke Eaters are 12-4. They have 25 points. They'll drop the puck at 7 o'clock. The Wild return home Friday to host Powell River. Well, befitting the series and the season it has been, Major League Baseball's World Series has gone to a 7th and deciding game tonight. That's after Los Angeles fought off elimination last night with a 3-1 win over the Houston Astros in Game 6. Former Mariner Chris Taylor's RBI double tied it in the 6th, and the brother of Seattle's Kyle Seager, Corey, put the Dodgers up for good with a sacrifice fly on the mound. Rich Hill, 4 relievers, had held the Houston offense to just 1 run on 6 hits. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCW Live channel. Grant is back from Montana. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Vets Serving Vets of North Central Washington receives a lot of donations to assist local military veterans in need. But a recent donation of a World War II U.S. Army nurse's uniform to the Vets Bunker in Wenatchee is getting a lot of attention. NCW Life's Steve Hare shares the story behind the uniform and the bravery of the nurse who wore it.
The uniform that made its way here to the bunker, obviously this is really a nicely maintained uniform of a U.S. Army nurse, World War II vintage.
Yes, there were approximately 70,000 nurses during World War II, about 60,000 in the Army and about 10,000 in the Navy. And this young lady here graduated from nursing school in 1938 in Seattle area. She volunteered immediately in the start of World War II, went through 15 months of training in Colorado, and then landed in Normandy on D-Day plus 39.
Oh my.
So about August 15th, somewhere in there in 1944. And she went through to the end of the war. And she was what we now call in a MASH unit. She was originally in the 65th General Hospital and then in the 11th Infantry Hospital, and basically went all through France and into Germany until the end of the war.
So definitely she was involved in trauma care and treating and the wounded during battle.
Yeah, she was right on the front line, and she says in an article about her that you never knew what was going to happen when you pulled the cover off of a stretcher, whether the person would be, what type of battle damage they'd have. But she was right there in triage.
Goodness gracious. So how did the uniform make its way here to Wenatchee in the bunker?
Well, apparently the family was going through some of her items. She's still alive at last report over in Auburn. And time to help her clean things up. And one of her nieces got this uniform and one other, and came in one day and said, "I've got a uniform, do you think you could use it here?" And we jumped on it. So, and it is in immaculate shape. That uniform, for being over 70 years old, is in fantastic condition.
Well, obviously you have quite a display here down at the bunker that you're accumulating with uniforms and other memorabilia. So obviously it's all turning into something of a museum down here.
Yeah, well, yeah, both in material and personnel, I think. Some of us are getting up there in museum status right now. It's starting to be a pretty good collection. It really is.
Once again, Steve Hare reporting. We'll be back in just a moment with the recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Is this really what we're going to do on our girls' night out?
We should go to Club Crow. The bar and grill in Kashmir?
Yeah, let's go.
Looking for a fun-filled, friendly hometown atmosphere? Club Crow Bar and Grill in Kashmir is the place to be. Hi, this is Justin. Here at Club Crow, we have full bar and restaurant, live music, a dance floor, pool tables, pull tabs, and live jam sessions the first Sunday of every month. Club Crow in Kashmir, the coolest place in town.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Time now for a recap of some of our top stories. An unusually large fall brush fire ignited late this morning just outside of Monitor. NCW Life's Jay Seebeck was there, and he has the story.
Jay Seebeck here out at the fire here in Monitor, out at the Hot Rod Cafe. I'm out in the parking lot. Crews are using this as a base point for then deploying them out onto the hill here. So far I've seen Chelan County PUD crews, Leavenworth fire crews, Chelan County fire crews, a lot of different members coming out here to battle this fire. We've got a helicopter going, you've got bulldozers making new fire lines along the hill. And so as you can see behind me, you can see the smoke line kind of on top of the ridge. That's the fire line that's slowly moving its way down the mountain, getting closer to all the residences and homes here. Hot Rod Cafe isn't in too much of a danger zone. There's a residence with an orchard behind it, then that orchard should work as definitely a buffer. If the fire makes it down that far, it won't be able to burn as fast. It's about 56 degrees here right now. It's really chilly. The wind is definitely the big factor in this, where it's blowing really hard and it's a cool wind, but it's definitely spreading that fire around. But luckily the helicopters are here. As you can hear them above me, they're coming through and they're dumping the water on the front line of the fire. And as I've been here for the last 30-40 minutes or so, it's really started to die down that fire, and it looks like they're starting to put it out. But it just kind of varies in different spots. So we'll stay tuned to see what happens next. Back to you, Grant.
Thank you, Jay. We also spoke with Chelan County Fire Public Information Officer Rick Isaacson about the size and complications associated with battling this particular fire.
We have a approximately 100-acre fire down here in the Monitor area at this little junction where Easy Street pours out onto Highway 2. The fire is to the north of us and running to the east. We have approximately 100 acres on fire, growing slowly, grass and a little bit of sage. We have level 1 evacuations. Most of those are the 15 houses here that border Easy Street. So they're really not in danger at this time. We'll see how the fire progresses and if other evacuations are ordered or not. It happened to be that when this came in, District 6, this is in their boundary, Kashmir Fire, we responded with one brush truck. Probably 5 minutes after that, we had a involved house fire over in East Wenatchee. That sent engine crews over there. That's where they're at. And then there was several medical calls as well. So we stretched them a little thin. That's why they went to third alarm. They went from first right away into second, and it didn't take them long to go to third alarm because they needed the resources. Chelan, Leavenworth, Entiat, Orondo, and those folks.
And as you saw in that last shot, the fire burned very close to one of our Sky-Fi tower cameras. And stay tuned. Make sure you stay tuned to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley News in the morning at 7 o'clock with Steve Hare for an update as to the cause of that large brush fire. A mobile home was damaged this morning in a fire on the east side. The fire was located off 27th Street near Columbia Street in the East Wenatchee area. Crews from Douglas County District 2 along with Chelan County District 1 responded. Additional details were not available as of this report. Wenatchee Valley Animal Control is putting the word out about a dangerous dog being sought in connection with an attack in the McKittrick Street neighborhood Sunday night. A news release issued late yesterday described the animal as a very tall, strong-looking dog with sleek gray fur. The dog attacked a woman's leash dog as they walked along the street and would not release it until another witness in a vehicle stopped to help and honked her horn to scare that dog away. It was last seen running toward Foothills Middle School, and if you have any possible information identifying this large gray dog, please contact Animal Care and Control. That phone number is 509-662-9577. And time now for your weather forecast for north central Washington. Let's take a look at what we're seeing out there. And our weather, as I mentioned at the top of the newscast, is changing. That's because we're seeing a very strong flow moving down from the north. As you can see on our map, it's a large area of low pressure up in Canada, and it's spinning counterclockwise, dragging all of that cold air from up north down into Washington and the northern tier of the United States. At the same time, we're seeing a pretty moist flow coming in from the western U.S., and the combination of that cold air and that moist air will really increase our chances for some precip. As our weather is changing, as I mentioned, we're seeing a strong west to northwest flow that will continue to arch over our area, bringing clouds and cooler temperatures. The Wenatchee Valley should remain fairly dry for tonight. As you can see, that cold front flattening out the ridge of high pressure that was over us. We will see just a slight chance for a stray shower or two later tonight, but by Thursday, our flow becomes more westerly as snow levels will drop overnight as colder air is pumped into the area. A heavy snow event is expected for northeast Washington and into central to the northern Idaho Panhandle on Friday, where up to 2 feet of snow is expected. So travel on I-90 east this weekend will be hazardous. We will see our best chance for snow as we move in later on in the weekend and especially on Sunday. Let's take a quick look now at that forecast, and we will see a fairly cold overnight once again tonight of about 37 degrees. Tomorrow we'll top off at 50, a 70% chance of the wet stuff tomorrow. Friday we really cool down, only 43 for our high, scattered showers possible. Saturday we'll also see a chance for scattered showers, snow showers. Our possibility for Saturday night and especially into Sunday. In fact, Sunday we may not even make it to 40 degrees for a high, 44 on Monday, and then 42 degrees as we make our way into Tuesday. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. I'm Grant Olson. Have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.